आओ बच्चों तुम्हें दिखाएं झांकी हिंदुस्तान की, इस मिट्टी से तिलक करो ये धरती है बलिदान की.
Last week I watched the film Dilwale. Yes, I know. I'm a sucker for self-flagellation. Every scene was like a whiplash on the brain that I had mistakenly brought along, when really I should have left it at home. But at home, it would have had to withstand Arnab. And I might be a masochist, but I'm not a wrist slasher. And so, popcorn in one hand and Coke Zero in the other, I enveloped myself in weather-beaten suede upholstery just in time to hear the digital voice with a Shashi Tharoor accent remind us of which fire exits to take in case of emergency. Handy information, fire or not. And then, one fistful of popcorns later, out of the blue, gory images of jawless, lacerated, gashed, sore-ridden, hoary-voiced people took over the screen like zombies, with tubes and drips and stuff festooned all around their emaciated and mangled bodies. The voiceover counseled the petrified audience with, "Tambaku se kark rog hota hai. Tobacco causes cancer." Yes, a message forewarning death even before the film had begun. And when the film did begin, something struck me, while luxury cars struck each other and were crushed and pummeled on screen. Kajol had turned Caucasian. Yep, she wasn't brown anymore. She was white as milk, full cream, not skimmed at that. And her white skin had a glow that I earlier thought could only be achieved through sweeping flesh with Rin in large, confident arcs accompanied by thunder and lightning. I couldn't believe it. Kajol, our unibrowed and brown Kajol, who we loved in Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, was now too browed and white in Dilwale. From Gehuan to Gerua took all of 20 years. Well, it didn't just end there. The interval came. Yes, God does exist. And with it came Fair and Lovely and Pond's Fairness Cream and Garnier Whitening Cream ads, each one claiming to rid you of your brownness. So this was it. The idea was to turn every brown person into white. Why? The issue here is not why brownies want to become whiteys. There are many reasons. Our pre-colonial culture that glorified whiteness, gaon ki gori, a need to display caste superiority, all that Aryan bunkam, and finally, our post-colonial culture that is awed by white skin, white people, white everything. The issue is, why is this being perpetuated by our role models, our companies, and our media? The first thing skin whitening cream sellers do is to create an illusion of inferiority complex where none should exist. Once a dark and brooding and sad atmosphere is created, defenders of this conceit inevitably emerge. It is for women's emancipation, they say. It is her aspiration to become white. The VP of Hindustan Lever gets up in a Women in the World India Summit and says, Fair and Lovely is empowering women. And what is the magic ingredient in Fair and Lovely that, when applied to a skin, empowers a woman? Nicotinamide. So while promoting nicotine is banned, and rightly so, promoting nicotinamide isn't? When man born in Africa trotted off to third world countries that didn't have enough sun, like for example Britain, two of his genes, MC1R and SLC24A5, stopped working. Both are involved in melanin synthesis and transport. Whiteness is nothing but evolution in action, nothing but a bit of chemistry. So why do you want to be white? Well, it is your personal choice, you say. Fair enough. But then so is smoking. But we no longer advertise and glorify smoking like we used to. The time has come for us to think in a similar fashion about skin fairness creams. And the first step towards this should be taken by our media, because it is you, the media, that aims to and succeeds in entering our minds. Is it not your responsibility to tell us that far from these whitening creams empowering women, they are degrading them and us and humanity and all that long cherished view that all humans are created equal? Or we can wait for the day when scientists use this new breakthrough gene editing technology called CRISPR, this month crowned as the science breakthrough of 2015, to mutate our SLC24A5 gene. Then all of us would turn white, permanently white, 1.2 billion white people. White teeth, white hair, white skin. And our media would begin to advertise this revolutionary new technique like how they advertise the IVF. The devil would unfold. And instead of a skin whitening product, you would see an ad coaxing you, the reader, to shell out 1 lakh for gene therapy. But who knows? The government might even begin charging a 1% cess for it, the Swachh Skin Abhiyan. Do we want such a skin? Do we want such a future? Do we want such a burden? A white man's burden? The nicotine consumer has been made to realize that smoking is a terrible idea for many reasons. And it is high time the nicotinamide consumer was made to feel the same. And dear Kajol, please turn brown again. ये निचोड़ जारी रहे.
झांकी हिंदुस्तान की इस मिट्टी से तिलक करो ये धरती है बलिदान की.
If you enjoyed that, click up here to support us and down here to subscribe. Be sure to check out our older episodes and the other stuff we do, like Can You Take It, I Agree, panel discussions, comics and animations, and much, much more.